Welcome back to Bet with the Boys.
What is going on, guys?
Welcome back, guys. It is Monday, February the 27th. Like we promised, we're ending the month strong. Yesterday was a great start to that as we went 2-0.
Yes, after a tough week, guys, the 3-1 weekend felt great, and now we're back on a fresh week, Monday. And like you said, we're starting to get a little bit hot. We are now 41-30 on the month, 57.75%, trying to get back up closer to that 60% mark. We have 2 days to do it, so we're going to give it our best shot.
Yep,
Yeah.
Like you said, tomorrow is the last day of the month. I'm glad February is over. I'm ready for the summer, ready to get hot outside and hot on these picks.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get hot sometimes. We're working in a freezer. It's pretty cold in there, but hopefully they'll move us out to dry soon. It's a little bit warmer. And Saturday, we were actually all around it. We just didn't put out enough picks. The ones we marked off, we had 5 total, narrowed it down to 2. We would have went 4-1. The picks we threw out were 1-1. And then yesterday we went 2-0, but we had one scratched off. That would have been a 3-0 day. So we've been heating back up, actually. Just hasn't correlated into wins because we haven't put out enough picks, but we've been all around it.
Yeah, so drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, we will get into the recap. Haha, tricked you. 2-0 yesterday. Like you said, Stanford minus 5.5 at Washington cashed pretty easily. We had the Cavs minus 6.5 against the Raptors. That cashed fairly easily too. I think they won by like 15 or so.
Yeah, even Danny Green was getting in on the action at the end. I think he hit a 4-point play. He got fouled on 3. I don't know if he made the free throw. I was kind of listening to it at work and kind of wasn't paying attention at the same time since we had it in the bag. And then that Stanford's pick, that was just what would you call that, Jake?
That's just perfect line reading right there. We said when we threw it out there, it was like, this is a ballsy pick, but everything just matched up too perfectly. We took it, and it cashed easily.
Yeah, that one took some guts to take.
Yep. Washington even tried to pull the old pirate trick parlay. Did not work.
Parlay. All right, guys, going ahead and getting into the picks for the official picks today. We got the Heat plus 6.5 on the 76ers. 7 p.m. game. That's minus 118 on FanDuel if you get that extra half point or a point. But we were on the Heat a few days ago, and that did not work for us. But we're back on them today. The 76ers have been hot, but the Heat, just the way the line reads, I think they're going to cover this easily.
If the line has moved despite the money coming in on the 76ers, Tyler Hero was present at the shoot-around earlier today, and we're still waiting to see if he's going to play. But with him shooting around, we're hoping he makes the show up.
Yeah, that's a good sign. And then Kevin Love is probable. He's been playing his heart out for Miami since the trade. He got like 13 rebounds last game, so he's doing his thing. Miami lost to Charlotte again the other day, so we figured this is the bottom of the market for them. It's time to buy on the Miami Heat. So, like we said, you'll have to buy this line on FanDuel. We're not just going to take +6 and push, So we're going to buy the extra half point, especially at minus 118. You can't beat that. The line's already dropped on most books to 5.5. And then the 76ers, they've covered in 4 of their last 5 against the spread. The only game they didn't cover was last game against the mighty Celtics. We all know they're a great team and headed back to the championship probably. And like I said, the Heat have lost 4 in a row. It's just bottom of the market, so we're taking them.
Yep. Speaking of the Celtics, we did look at the Celtics today, and I might have a little lean, but we don't really like taking bets against the Celtics right now. Second pick of the day, we're taking Baylor at Oklahoma State. We're taking Oklahoma State plus 1.5. Minus 110 odds on FanDuel, 9 p.m. game. Everybody knows the story about Baylor in Kansas and how Baylor has been playing recently. But this line has moved. I believe they beat Oklahoma State by 16 last game. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you got anything else you want to add?
So they're plus 1.5 now. Tells me they're expecting a tight game. Oklahoma State's had their chances for upsets in the last couple of games, and they need one. They have lost 4 straight against the spread. They were favored against Kansas State last game by 3.5 and choked an 8-point lead in the second half. They were favored. They lost against the spread to West Virginia, to TCU, and then Kansas, where they were plus 1.5 against Kansas and could not get it done. Baylor today, they're missing Keontae George, who's been an absolute beast on both sides of the ball for Baylor. And then Oklahoma State got their big man back that they did not have in the last game against Baylor, who's going to be too big on the interior for Baylor to handle, I do believe. And Baylor is 3-5 against the spread in their last 5, so it's just a good buy low spot for Oklahoma State since everybody was expecting them to win last time against Kansas State, and they just choked.
Yeah, both these teams have a tendency to choke. Baylor choked in the tournament last year and also against North Carolina, if you remember that game. And then also earlier in the season, they've choked a few times. So we got a couple throat gods going up against each other, a couple chokers. But I think Oklahoma State's going to get this one done. Being at home helps them as well when you are trying to pull off that upset. And, just the way the line reads on this one, I think they got a great shot.
Yeah, it's plus 1.5 is where it opened. Some books already have it at plus 1 now. It would be great if we get this line at a pick 'em, like after we've got the 1.5, if it moves down to a pick 'em right before a game. And also, Baylor shot 47% from 3 against Texas in the win on Saturday. So I do not expect them to keep that up. That's not attainable. So
recap of today's picks. We have the Heat plus 6.5 versus the 76ers. And we have Baylor at Oklahoma State. We're taking Oklahoma State plus 1.5. Now, I do want to throw out a lean, even though we kind of decided that we weren't really going to be throwing out a whole lot of leans. But it is the Knicks plus 2.5 against the Celtics. I like that pick. The only thing I don't like about the pick is the fact that they're playing the Celtics. Jaylen Brown is out for personal reason in the game today, but that is my lean of the day.
Probably to get his nose checked by the doctor, but
yeah. So just go ahead and do your own research on that. Like we said, not an official pick, just a lean. I don't hate it, but I'm definitely going to delve deeper into that. But we'll see.
Sometimes I just feel like the books overcompensate for players being out and give too many points. So, and plus it's a primetime game. Those lines are altered anyways. And 81% of the money coming in on the Knicks on the spread is just a little bit too much for comfort. So just too many red flags in that game for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the 2 official picks today. I think we have a great chance at going 2-0 again. We're all over it as of late. So start winning.
Yep.
Bet responsibly, always bet with the boys, and we'll see y'all in the last day of February's video.
Yep. Let's get to 43 wins, guys. Richard Petty.
All right. See you guys.
See you guys.